There are some things in this world that go way beyond human understanding. Things that cannot be explained, things that most people don't want to know about. That is where we come.
Do you know what the most frightening thing in the world is? It's fear.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
It's all true. The boogeyman is real. And you found him.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
I see dead people.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
They're here.
Welcome back to Ghost Frickin' Talkin'. That's right, you've reached Ghost Frickin' Talkin'. It's your paranormal podcast. Friends, I am your host. My name is Nick, and my co-host, Trenton. And today, we are actually kicking off 31 days of Halloween. And luckily enough, we have an awesome guest here we're going to be interviewing today that's going to kick off the 31 days of Halloween with something that we're helping promote for them.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Nice.
And so I want to introduce our friend. You might know him if you guys have been paying attention to our channel. He has actually joined us in a couple of hunts down in Birmingham and up in New Jersey. So we want to introduce the one, the only, Mr. Kevin HinkleDraws. Kevin Hinkle.
Hello.
How are you doing, sir?
So much better now that I'm here.
And Kevin has been a fan of Ghost Frickin' Talkin' since day one. He's been there hanging out with us. He gives us some pointers along the way, and he was the first person to buy our merch.
Oh, it's sick.
So as you guys can see, if you guys are watching via YouTube, you can see his shirt.
I see the merch. The merch looking hot,
check it
bro.
out.
I want to sneak it.
All right,
there, right?
Yeah,
All right, so Kevin, explain to us. You are a freelance artist, right?
Yes.
So basically, for your kids to eat, you need to draw shit.
I'm a professional poor person. I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yes.
This is it. This is it. Freelance artist. So that exactly as that title implies, I make money off of my artwork, and that could be either commissions. People say, hey, let me give you money and draw this for me. And that could be logo design. I actually do quite a bit of logo design, or just, hey, I want this drawing for my kid or whatever. And then I make my own stuff and make my own things to sell, such as stickers and posters and prints and all kinds of things like that to kind of keep the revenue streams going. So I'm constantly trying to find ways to make money off of what I create so that we can continue to live.
Oh, very good.
Nice.
Just to get this out of the way, where can people find you?
Right here in this podcast. You can find me online. So I have a website, which is kevinahinkle.com. And that is where I keep a decently updated portfolio if you kind of want to see all the work I've done, as well as a contact form if you'd like to contact me about a project. Or you can find me on social media at MrHinkleDraws, and basically on everything except not on the TikTok.
Not on
I don't think you
TikTok.
can get on TikTok. Didn't they toss that? Isn't it? You can't get on it?
You can't.
I mean, I don't know. The news says all kinds of things these days. But I'm on all the ones people use.
Snappy chat.
Yeah. So Tinder and Grindr.
OnlyFans.
I've fallen and ballen.
Yeah, the OnlyFans
recommendation.
Yeah, exactly. But we have you in here today, Kevin, because you are launching as of October 1st, officially.
Right.
You have something that is near and dear to our hearts. You are launching in your Etsy store a Halloween set of these awesome stickers you do.
Yeah, totally out of the norm. I mean, this is really it's interesting that we are friends, considering how maybe little we have in common, or maybe I mean, there's some strong commonalities, but as we've discussed many times, I am totally a wiener. I'm not into like super scary movies, and I'm not like that's what's the great irony out of all this. But I definitely appreciate and acknowledge and respect that I do have a decent number of people that enjoy my artwork that like spooky content and like thriller content and horror content, and I don't really ever do that. And so I figured if I'm gonna do it, this is the only time I'm gonna do it.
All right.
So
hopefully this is
it kind of makes sense.
Hopefully this is series 1, and this is the 2020 version. We get 2021 if these sell well.
Yeah, I mean, anything I do, people ask me all the time. They're like, I like this thing you did. Will you do more, or can you do more? I'm like, if you buy it. I mean, I am totally ready to sell out. It's like anytime something sells well, I'll pump out more of it. But I would like to make it an annual tradition. That would be kind of fun, and I feel like that's a nice way to concentrate the spookiness. The stuff that's a little outside of my norm is, it's Halloween. Of course I do it at Halloween every year.
Yeah.
All right. So you do have a set of 10 figures or stickers. Set of 10 stickers of very iconic horror franchises, a la Halloweenish.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will say the one item that you threw in there threw me for a sideball, because I would have never thought of that. Because, and I'm going to spoil it, it's the Thriller one, the Michael Jackson one.
Yeah.
That's the one that came out of left field for me.
Do you want to know the story?
Sure. Let's go into it.
Yeah, you do. So when I was trying to do, and I tend to favor going with like 10s, like I launch things in 10. I don't know. It's an even number. There's no other rationale. But I was like, all right, I need 10 characters. So I sketched out a bunch. I actually sketched out like, I think 25 or 30 ideas. And there was a bunch that obviously didn't make the cut. Like I had Crypt Keeper on there. I had Elvira on there.
I'm a huge Elvira fan, man. You would have had me there. I would have bought your whole
next year. And so one of the ones I really wanted to do, obviously, is I wanted to have a zombie, right? Like you need to have a zombie,
right?
And I was actually having a really hard time coming up with. All right, full disclosure, I'll Google like what's the most popular zombie. Like I do this all the time, like because I mean, when I'm kind of reliant on what's popular to make money, I kind of have to do that. And so yeah, I was like, who's the most popular zombie? And it's like, you either have Michael Jackson or no one. And it's like, man, okay, like there are like genres of like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff about like the first, what was it, like Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead, the George Romero one.
Yep, exactly.
Is like really well known, and it's like, and then obviously Walking Dead, but like trying to pinpoint a zombie from one of those is like non-existent. And so I'm like, and of course, as I'm doing this, Michael Jackson keeps coming up. I'm like searching, it's like Michael Jackson. And then, so I wrote it down. And when I mentioned this in a live stream somewhere else, I'm like, I'm thinking about doing a Halloween launch. I'm pretty confident I'm going to do it. And I had like 2 or 3 times people were like, please tell me you're going to have a Michael Jackson Thriller in there. And I'm like, that okay? I mean, the stars are aligning. That's what people are saying. So.
I mean, I love the Michael Jackson.
Yeah, it came out.
It looks super sick.
It's super awesome. But I will admit this. I'm admitting this live to my audience that forever until I seen your sticker, I thought Michael Jackson in the Thriller video was a fucking werewolf.
Same. No joke.
Okay.
I same.
Because of yeah. Well, isn't it because in the... Okay. I watched the music video like right before I was drawing it. Because that was a lot easier than watching like a 2-hour movie. So I was like, I'll watch this real quick. And I remember bits and pieces of it when I was a kid and it came out, or was much younger. And I mean, in the music video, he is a werewolf at one point, but it's like that brief beginning where it's like him watching himself in the movie. And I feel like he's like 3 different monsters in that one music video, because he's like a werewolf in the fake movie, and then he's a zombie, and then it ends and he's like some zombie werewolf vampire hybrid. It's like, I don't know, but
yeah, because I didn't know if I got stuck in one of those time loops to where I thought it was a werewolf and then it was changed to a zombie. The Mandela effect.
Yeah, the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
I thought the Mandela effect came in. I'm like, I thought he was a fucking werewolf. And then I started watching the music video. I'm like, he's a fucking zombie. So I'm like,
well, you're like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Hold up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was the surprise pick for me coming in that set. And what we're going to do right now, we're actually going to run. I put together a little commercial package. What we're going to do is we're going to run this commercial package I did for these stickers. So we will return with more Kevin Hinkle right after this.
I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
I want to play a game. So you are afraid of something after all, huh?
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
What's the problem? Come on, I'll take you home.
Get your limited edition Halloween sticker series at Etsy.com. Shop MrHinkleDraws. 10 designs to choose from Jason, Freddy, Ghostface, Carrie, Thriller Michael Jackson, Frankenstein's Monster and the Bride of Frankenstein, Billy the Puppet, Pennywise the Clown, and Reagan from The Exorcist. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you go to, Etsy.com, shop MrHinkleDraws.
Yeah, easy enough, right? Easy enough.
Easy enough. So go out there, and you do have a package deal.
Yeah.
So the more stickers you buy, like in a package, the cheaper the price gets for you.
Yeah, there's 2 different ones. If you just wanted, like, maybe you just wanted 5, or if you just want to get, like I mentioned earlier, I tend to release them, and I have a 10 bundle, because there are people that are like, oh, I want all of this wave, and so there's a 10 and a 5 bundle.
Okay, very cool. But as you guys seen in that commercial or heard in that commercial, however you're listening or watching this podcast here, the rundown is pretty cool. You hit a bunch of different genres. You have Carrie, which was interesting, because she's not more of your creepier, supernatural-ish characters.
Yeah.
So you said you don't watch scary movies.
No. I haven't seen any of these. I have not watched a single one.
So do you read scary stuff like Stephen King stuff? No?
I'm totally ill prepared or equipped to do this.
Yeah, because you picked 2 Stephen King characters, which is Pennywise and Carrie.
Right. I know that. I can at least say I know that. I know that he is responsible for those characters.
Yeah, I didn't know if you kind of more stuck with those because you read them, or because I know you're a nerd and read books and stuff.
I am a nerd. I do read books and stuff. So my only goal with it, as I mentioned, I put a whole bunch in my sketchbook. I was just kind of firing everything, through my mind, and I really wanted to try to go classic, go modern, try to kind of have a decent sampling of different areas that might interest people, but still in like a spooky kind of Halloweenish theme. So I was intentionally trying to make it a mixture of all of them.
Yeah, and just like in great Ghost Freaking Talking fashion, the dog is barking to want in. So if you guys heard a dog start to bark, that is exactly what happened. And Kevin, you live for these moments.
You know what? If it hadn't happened, I would have felt insulted. I would not have gotten the most accurate representation of being on the show.
Yeah, at least the ghost isn't throwing something in the area like it did the other night for our when we were recording a podcast. Like we were recording the podcast and shit was happening in the other room.
Yeah.
So hope maybe the ghost will show up for you in your little interview here.
I can only hope. It might not be as effective with me just being over here, but I could still hope that it would happen.
All right, so you do have a couple of the Stephen King characters. You've hit from classic characters like the classic Frankenstein. Oh, well, should I say Frankenstein's monster and the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So you hit on like ultra classics.
Yeah,
then
that's
you move,
going all the way back.
Then you hit like the 70s with the Carrie. I do have one question because I'm looking at Pennywise right now.
Yeah.
Why the newer version of Pennywise, the older version? Was it always going to be the newer version?
Pure to pander to the excitement and popularity of the newer one. That's it.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
I was
wondering what
you're
you're
opposed to. Again, if it does well and people really like it and it's well received, I would love to keep doing this every year. And so I'm not opposed to like having other versions of this kind of stuff later on, because there are other actors or actresses that have played some of these characters, and I wouldn't mind, having both versions at some point.
Oh, very cool. Kind of like having it like a chase version,
Yeah.
You know how toy companies will do one of like an older character of a newer character doing, but make it limited.
Yes, very limited.
Limited does do things sometimes when you use words like limited edition.
Yeah, exactly. That's when they sell out.
Yeah.
And another cool thing when I was looking at these, you hit the big two, which were Jason and Freddy.
Yeah.
So those
Absolutely
were the must-haves. Were out of any of these 10, was it a pick that you wanted to do because you wanted to do it?
You know what's funny is, so I just said earlier that I haven't seen any of these, which is actually a lie. There's one that I have seen, and we've talked about it before because it's actually, for someone who has almost no experience with watching scary movies, I really enjoy the Saw movie. I've seen it. I've seen that first Saw movie. I've seen actually like up to like 3 or 4, and then it just got awful.
Yeah,
I was like,
it did.
I'm like, I didn't even see the last 1 or 2. I was like, I'm out. Tap me, I'm out. But like that first one, I think it's because it leans so heavy into like the psychological part of it that I liked. But so I really wanted to get Billy the Puppet in there because I am a Saw fan.
Yeah,
so I was like, I need to get that. I need to get I didn't know his name. I just knew he was. I thought the name of the puppet was Jigsaw. I mean, I get that the killer is Jigsaw. Like I understand that, but I thought like also the puppet's name was Jigsaw. And then when I was doing my research, I was like, that is incorrect. That is not the name of that puppet.
Very, very cool. Because you went trick or treating last year as Billy the Puppet,
Yeah,
right?
I went trick or treating as Billy the Puppet last year, and it was sick. I did my own costume.
Did you in fact play games?
Yes, I played multiple games.
Did you get a little tricycle out?
No, we were going to, but my leg died, so that's why we couldn't do it.
And I was gonna ask if you were riding a tricycle as well. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, that was the one that I really had a personal interest in getting in there.
Oh, very cool. one that I am really impressed, they're all impressive, don't get me wrong. But the one that stands out as being really impressive, as it looked like, heavy detail got put into it, was Reagan from The Exorcist.
Okay, that was the hardest one. That one, like, this, I have them next to me too, which is why I keep looking over here. I started that one, like, she was like the second or third one that I started. I think I started with Frankenstein. He was the first, or Frankenstein's Monster was the first one I did. And then I think she was third, and I had to keep coming back because it was so difficult. I'm like, man, I'm having a problem with this. And it ended up being the last one I finished because it was so hard for me to make it. So I'm very pleased to hear you say such words, because I was just like, anything I draw that is trying specifically to mimic someone's likeness, there's like extra pressure on me, because I want it to look like the actor or the actress, even though they are wearing makeup, even though they're in a role.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm drawing Spock, I want it to look like Leonard Nimoy. And so I was like, I had a whole like canvas full of photos of both Linda Blair in and out of makeup, trying to like get it right, and it was so hard. And the skin tone, like when I was doing research into like the skin tone, I haven't seen the film, but based on all the screenshots I was looking at, based on like the merchandise that they sell, like toys and shirts, I'm like, this character has to change skin tone throughout the course of this film, has to, because it's like, it's either yellow or it's regular like pink flesh tone, or it gets green. And I'm like, what is the skin tone? I don't know what it is.
You nailed it, man. You hit it out of the park for sure.
Awesome. All right, I'll take it.
Because like I said, they're all gorgeous, but that one just stands out. I'm like, damn, he put a lot of time in that one.
Yes, indeed.
And you could definitely, it shows, man. It just you could definitely tell, because the eyes, she's just like peering into your soul, man.
Yeah.
She's going to, because your mother sucks cocks in the hill. She's screaming that at me right now.
Nice.
She does say that, doesn't she? Again, I watched a lot of scenes when I was doing this. Like, I was doing some research, and she did say some pretty inappropriate things.
All right, so that's your stickers, your sticker set. We're going to be promoting it all month long here on the channel. We are going to have links to your Etsy page, and so you guys can get out there and purchase these stickers, so we could show our love for Kevin and his stuff. And if you guys have noticed, there's a bunch of stickers that are lined up behind me on our setup
Those are a lot more lighthearted.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, a very different.
So there's more than just these on his Etsy page. You have, you will go from genres from. You did a whole Mario set.
Yep.
What was it?
We've got some Mandalorian Star Wars stuff on there.
Okay. Yeah.
I know you got it.
It's cool.
Hey, cool. You know what? I purchased them, so
You did.
Just to say that I'm cool and purchased the Mandalorian ones, but you have pretty awesome stuff out there.
Thank you.
You also do larger art prints as well, as you can see. If you guys are watching via YouTube, he does have some of his prints right there on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So you have larger prints, and you have smaller Lego people.
Yeah, I've been testing out like it's like half the size of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So it's a small. I mean, bigger than like a 4x6, but I've been testing that out to see if there's interest. I'm probably still gonna try it out with some other things that are not Lego related, but just for the Lego ones so far, it's like, no, I don't think I'll be doing these anymore. So, because it's just, it's a lot of this stuff I do because it was intentionally planned for shows and conventions, because I'd have a table there and a booth there. So I do need to order stock before and have it here, as opposed to like a lot of print on demand services. So I do have to like front all the costs for these things before I start. So that means there's a lot of trial and error. And I'd never done small prints before. So let's try it, see if it sells. So far, it's not selling. And so it's like, well, all right, that's fine. I tried it.
I bought one.
But I'll probably give it a shot with some non-Lego stuff to see if it, whatever.
Oh,
but
cool.
yeah, I got small prints, large prints, and stickers, and also original artwork. I put some of my original stuff on there. So that stuff's usually a little pricier because that is not a print. That is the paper that had my actual ink and color on it. And
yeah, so, you rubbed your DNA off on it, moving your hand across that paper.
I pluck one hair on every, and I tape it to the drawing.
Yeah, because I noticed that you put on, let's say you're at a show and you do original artwork, then you'll put that up on your Etsy page as well.
Yeah, that's just something that I kind of, I guess, learned from seeing other artists at shows, because they'll have their booth and they've brought all these things to hopefully sell that people have an interest in. But now that you got that there, what do you do while you're there? And so you're an artist, so you draw. That's what you do. So right. you take commissions at the show, but when you're in between those commissions, just sit there and draw. I mean, and usually when you're sitting there at the table drawing, it does bring people over because they're like, what's that guy drawing? And so yeah, I'll just come up with something to draw. And then, I mean, obviously if nobody buys it, I'll say, well, I got to make money off it somehow. So I'll throw it up once it's over. One of the things I did learn in some of the earlier shows, I was like putting the name of the show on it. I'm like, I should probably not do that, because then if it doesn't sell, nobody wants something on the internet that right. I made a month ago that says like, something fest 2019. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah,
it's like, I'll stop doing that.
Very cool.
But yeah, that happens.
Yeah, and I also seen that you are doing, was it Hinktober?
Yeah, so that's also funny. So there's a very long running, whatever you want to call it, like an initiative called Inktober, where you take every day in October, and there is an official Inktober social media account. There's an Inktober website. There's a whole thing. It's an official thing. And they give you a prompt list, and you have 31 days, and you need to create a piece of artwork all 31 days with the prompt. People adjust it, and they do it all kinds of different ways. Like, they'll say, I don't want to use the prompt list. I'll do my own thing. Or I want to base it only on mermaids, which has happened. Like, I'm only going to draw mermaids for 31 days. Actually, one artist I followed last year did only Super Mario characters for 31 days. It's like, that's fine with me. I'll take it. But recently, in the last couple of months, there's been a lot of issues with artists participating in Inktober and then getting like takedown notices and cease and desist from using the name Inktober in their sales of the work. And the person who owns it has come out and said like, hey, look, no, you guys are artists, sell your work. I'm not trying to stop you from selling your work. Like, that was the point of me creating this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But the name Inktober belongs to me. The logo of Inktober belongs to me. My lawyers have to protect it because I have to protect it. So if you plan to participate and sell your stuff, you can't use the name. And so I'm like, well, if I can't use the name, then I'm not going to use the name at all. So it's like, I'm participating in it in my own way. And literally tonight I was like, oh, I could use like part of my name. So I came up with it today. It's like, I'll just do that.
Before the show, 5 minutes before.
The promo for Inktober, I'm like, oh, that's right. That guy said we shouldn't use that anymore. So it's participating in it, but I just gave it my name.
Very cool. Because I peeked on I believe it was a Patreon thing that you pushed out earlier. I think that is that where I seen it? Is that Patreon?
So here's the thing: is I put up. So I'm doing this. It's 31 days. I'm gonna draw something each day. And I'm like, all right, where do I come up with the prompts? Last year, I came up with the prompts. I just said, I'll put 31 names of characters I think are cool. Mm-hmm. But I've been trying more and more to, utilize this incredible community of people that support me on Patreon. So I thought, oh, wait a minute. I did a poll on my Patreon page a couple of months ago for new stickers. And everybody, they flooded me with a bunch of ideas on things that people wanted. And I went through it. I'm like, I got enough prompts from patrons right now that I could just pull all these. So I took all of those prompts people suggested for the sticker, and that's what I'm going to be using for the month. So all the ones I went through and I pulled, I think every patron got 2 of them pulled over. So it's not quite what that original post was for, but those are still obviously characters that all these people like and enjoy. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just move over their suggestions onto this thing.
Very cool.
So that's where that came up. I came up with that, I guess, sneakily. But I'll be properly announcing that. We still have like 6 or so days of the month in September.
No, this is October 1st, man. What are you talking about?
I mean, movie magic aside, there's still time to adequately explain myself. But that's how I am going about that.
Very cool. And you will put these drawings up for sale on your Etsy page as well.
Yeah, these are like traditional, so I'll be drawing them. I'm probably going to do exactly what I did last year, where at some point during the day, I can't commit to a consistent time, but at some point during the day, I'll probably do an Instagram live, and I'll take 15 minutes, I'll draw it in front of a live audience on the internet, and then once it's done, probably at the end of the month, I'll take all the photos and upload them. So in November, they'll probably all be available if people want to buy them. Will be up on the old Etsy page.
Very cool. Yeah, I bought one from your set last year. I bought the Michonne.
Yep.
From The Walking Dead, and if you guys watch our other YouTube channel, The Brickhead Family, you can see it constantly in the background on the wall over here.
I use that to see the reflection of Fortnite. Because that one, because you've got the Skexel one too, and that one's got like a bunch of color, but the Michonne is black and white, and so there's so much of the white on the frame that it's got a nice glare. And so I can see the action of Fortnite. Like I can see the person running.
So can we title our streams with #Fortnite?
Yeah, we can #Fortnite our streams then, right?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody calls you out on it, just like zoom in and crop the picture and be like, there it is, it's there.
It's there. It's got it.
All right, so if you guys missed out, we are talking to Mr. HinkleDraws tonight on the podcast via wherever you get your podcast or live here on YouTube, so you guys can check us out that way. But we're going to run that commercial one more time, and then when we come back from that, we are going to talk spooky with Mr. HinkleDraws.
Ooh, spooky.
You shared a story with me back in New Jersey. What was it? Philly.
Yeah. Yep.
Before this podcast existed. And you shared a story with me. If you don't mind, we could revisit that one.
We can. There's one more thing I want to say about the stickers though before I forget. Okay. I did something I've never done before, and that is I actually hid an Easter egg in all 10 of those stickers. So I did something in the artwork, and I'll give you one. Okay. I'm going to give you one because I think it's the easiest one to find.
Okay.
But if you look at the Pennywise, the scar on the forehead is a small sailboat.
Yes.
And all 10 of these, all of them, have something hidden in the artwork that directly ties to the source material, which was very hard considering I hadn't seen any of them, which is why I had to do a lot of Google reference and watching scenes on YouTube and all that. But I would say a good number of these, it's easy to see, like just right on the sticker, but some are very small.
Yeah.
I know. We've been
looking at it for about 2 hours straight, trying to find all 10 of them. I've only found 4.
Yeah, some of them you would have to look at the actual the artwork file, which is I zoom in on the face. But anybody that's following, and I'm really curious to know if people can find them and identify what they are and why. And I've never really done that on purpose, and I actually didn't plan to do it on purpose this time either. But believe it or not, the Ghostface killer mask, that one was 100% unintentional. And I said, "Whoa, that looks exactly like."
It looks exactly like it.
And I'm like, all right, it's in, locked it in. I'm doing it on all of them. So it was. I drew it, and then after I was done, I'm like, wait a minute, and I went to Google. See, I can't reveal it. So I
Yeah.
went to Google and I looked it up. I was like, look up what I thought it looked like, and I'm like, oh man, it does look exactly like that.
You got it spot on, and if
so,
that was just by accident, man, that's spot on.
Every other one was intentional, but that one was what started it. And I said, you know what? Spooky, making people think. Like
Very
it seems like it all kind of works together in that time. So that's just another thing that I want to throw out there. There is a little hidden Easter egg in all 10 of the Halloween sticker designs.
Very cool. Yeah, and all these stickers are high quality stickers. I highly suggest you get out and buy your set. Buy all 10.
Yeah,
buy 20.
2 sets.
Buy 2 sets.
Buy 20. What?
Yeah, buy 2 sets. Buy 2
give
sets.
them out as wait, are we even trick-or-treating this year? Give them out as trick-or-treat.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Instead of buying candy, just go to his Etsy shop and just buy all these and just hand them out because these things are sick.
Yeah, you know, all the
every
emo
single
kids
one
out
in
there.
an individual baggie and spray it with Lysol before you get it out.
All the emo kids out there, get your stickers out here and slap them on your laptops or your lockers at school if you're going to school or whatnot. But yeah, get on these stickers, man.
Just slap it on something. Doesn't matter what.
Yeah, just walk around and just start slapping stickers on stuff. But yeah, these are awesome. So good job on these, man. So once again, here is our commercial we will be running all month long.
I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
I want to play a game. So you are afraid of something after all, huh?
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
What's the problem? Come on, I'll take you home.
Get your limited edition Halloween sticker series at Etsy.com. Shop MrHinkleDraws. 10 designs to choose from Jason, Freddy, Ghostface, Carrie, Thriller Michael Jackson, Frankenstein's Monster and the Bride of Frankenstein, Billy the Puppet, Pennywise the Clown, and Reagan from The Exorcist. Alright guys, so make sure to go out and get your sticker package, or 1, 2, 10, 20, 100.
I'm down to buy 100, bro.
Alright, so go out to...
I would also be okay with that.
Well, it's at Etsy.com, shop MrHinkleDraws.
Yep.
And
thank you. Appreciate anybody even thinking about it. It does mean it makes a difference. Makes a difference.
And if you can't spell that, we will be posting our commercial to the top of our Facebook page. So if you guys want to go to Ghost Freaking Talking Facebook page, this will be running attached to the top of our page all October long. So if you guys want to go out there and check that out and follow that link, you guys will be able to go out and get your awesome stickers as well. Well, Kevin, like I said earlier when we came in, we like to include you whenever you're around on some spooky
I'm around
stuff.
sometimes.
Yeah, we've had you to the house, and we did a Ouija board, a Ouija board that night. That nothing happened with the Ouija board.
That bathroom though is still unsettling.
But yeah, you sat here and you kept looking down that hallway. You were waiting for something to come up.
I don't know. And then I was like, am I going to be able to be here the whole time and not ever have to use the bathroom? Because that would be ideal. But then I was like, no, I got to do it. That whole thing. And then didn't you have or maybe I don't remember if it was decorated. I've seen your Halloween decorations before in the bathroom, and I'm like, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
All the blood splatter and everything that's in there.
I'm all right.
Heads hanging from chains.
You probably didn't have that up when I was there.
No, that was back.
Father's Day.
Yeah, that's Father's Day weekend. We wait till 4th of July to roll that stuff out.
Is that when it's the appropriate?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's very appropriate for that.
Yeah,
time.
it was just like, man, the whole time I was in there, I almost wanted to be like, can I yo, fellas, can I leave the door open? Just I mean,
he needs like a buddy to hold his hand.
Yeah. Can you be my bathroom buddy?
just stand on the other side.
All right. So we've also been on a couple of hunts together. Like I said, we took that late night trip out to Clinton Road.
Yeah.
In Jersey. If you guys have not checked that out, we have a video on our YouTube channel of our escapades driving the entire stretch of Clinton Road, and we did have some weird stuff happen when we were there.
Weird stuff indeed.
We were running the not the Spirit Box. We were running the Ovilus, the iOvilus. It's a phone app, and it generates words that supposedly spirits are generating. It was really weird when we're driving and it says remove shoes. And then no sooner that we turn this corner, this bend, we like look up and we're like, what is that? And there's like 20 pairs of shoes hanging from a power line along the road.
I just kept shaking my head. I'm like, no, today's not the day, gentlemen. Today's not the day.
Exactly. That was very freaky. And then you took a bunch of pictures because you were snapping pictures the whole time, and we came across something that we could not explain.
Right.
On the bridge where the little kid is said to have died, and he chucks the coins back at you, which we didn't have that happen. The coins didn't come back from us.
I did not get my Brick Fair bucks back.
Yeah, you didn't get your Brick Fair bucks back. But the picture is really cool, and if you guys want to go and check this out, it'll be on I believe it's on our Instagram page, but I will bring it back and post it up on our Facebook page and whatnot. But it looks like a
Dobby.
It looked like Dobby.
It looked like Dobby
sitting on the bridge at the end of the bridge,
looking back, right?
Looking back at us.
At the photographer. Look at me.
Yeah.
And
you did several shots of that same one, and that picture was only in the one shot.
And that was when we were leaving. Like, I remember we were in my car leaving, and I said, let me take one more picture before we go. And I like leaned out of the window, and I wasn't even like really trying. I was just like, let me just take a picture, taken. All right, let's go. And then it was like when we stopped, because we kept stopping periodically to get out and do whatever. And there was one time when we stopped and you guys got out, and I was looking through it. I'm like, oh no. I was like, oh no. So that happened. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's, to me, I was like, is that like a kid sitting there?
Yeah.
Like, it looked like some kind of a kid. I mean, it looked like a small being.
Yeah, it definitely.
Sitting and looking back, like looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, because when I showed you, you go, dude, that looks like Dobby.
It looks like Dobby. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like Dobby.
He was not a free elf.
No,
not a free elf.
It was, just looking, when you sent that picture to me, I looked at it, I was like, it gave me goosebumps, hair raised on my hand. I'm like, we were just standing there. We were just on that bridge standing there, and this thing is just, pops up whenever it wants to. So that was amazing. That was the Clinton Road in New Jersey. And then earlier this year, we went to Birmingham, Alabama for an event.
Yeah.
And we took a night out where we went to the Redmont Hotel.
We rode the rails. We rode the rails that night.
Yeah. We walked the railroad just like the Lost Boys, or not Lost Boys. What is it? Stand By Me. We went all Stand By Me. So we walked the rails near the Sloss furnace.
Yep.
Because they got that thing shut down pretty tight, so we weren't able to check that out properly. And then we went to what was the cemetery? That was.
Oh, that was weird too. I don't remember it, but like that was like almost like smack dab downtown Birmingham.
Yeah, that was really weird because it was like 2 blocks away from our hotel convention center where we were at.
Well, and that was also like we had both. I think you and I both were decently quiet, and I was like, I don't feel well here.
Yeah.
I mean, we had kind of been, like you mentioned, in other places and doing other adventures, but like I something felt odd there. I was like, I don't feel, but it was also not the whole cemetery. It was like only like I can't remember if it was like the front half or the back. Like it was half of it felt really weird, and then the other half didn't feel as weird. But I remember being like, I feel very unsettled.
Yeah, it was like, because it was really weird because that cemetery was it like went on it was like on a hill.
Yeah, very steep.
So when you were on the bottom of the hill towards the, I don't know, whatever the building is that was there, I don't know what they call them, or those rectories or something like that. But it was at the bottom of the hill, and just the whole feeling down there was like you had all these eyes staring at you the entire time you were standing there.
We said that. We kept feeling like people were just staring at us from all directions.
Yeah, it was a very creepy feeling being there. So, whenever, this COVID stuff kicks it and we're able to get to traveling again, we'll, try to get out and do some more fun stuff with you. We were talking earlier a few episodes ago where we want to go out to the Conjuring House.
Heck yeah.
Which is like just mere hours from you.
Mere hours from me. Yes, indeed.
But you said your wife won't let you.
I'm going. It's just I'm not going. we're gonna go for a wonderful trip to Target.
Yeah,
we're going to Target.
We're going to Target, everybody. We're gonna buy sundries, new towels.
Yeah, right.
What's interesting is I'm kind of more recently subscribed to it seems newly formed Ed and Lorraine Warren YouTube channel. I don't think it's been around that long.
No.
Maybe I'm wrong. But, their son-in-law runs it.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Sparrow runs it. And he's been posting a lot, like almost every day or every other. And as I've been just listening, usually I listen while I'm working. I'll have it up. And the amount of stories and places all across where I'm living, I'm just like, oh. Because I mean, just like so many are like, and this is in, this place Connecticut, and that place Connecticut, and over here in Connecticut, and that. I'm like, oh no. I'm just like,
he's like,
all right.
So everywhere you turn in Connecticut,
I guess so.
Yeah, you're gonna be haunted.
I guess indeed.
Nice.
Kevin's like, honey, we're moving.
Yeah, so we'll sneak you to the Conjuring House when we make our way out that way.
We just got to make a quick trip. I just need to have a Target bag. Okay, that's all.
We'll swing by Target.
6 hours to buy a new towel? It's like, hey, we wanted to look at all the backs of the DVDs. We read every movie synopsis.
Very
nice.
Cool. So to finish off our night here, Kevin, we're going to go over a story that you shared with me a while ago, and this is going to tie it in all nice and neat because we're talking about your art and your stickers, and I guess we'll go back to the spot where it started for you, right?
Yeah.
All this. So where? Yeah. Let's go to the Wayback Machine now, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's hop on in and head back to 19 something. And
it was not that far back. It was what year was it? 2000. I went to college 2005.
Oh, I forgot that you're still a baby compared to me.
Yeah, no, I was like 19.
19. He's like, I'm not that old, man.
How many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man?
I'm such a boomer.
Yeah, boomer.
Yeah, so I went to college in 2005 in Denver, Colorado, and it just so happens that my art school there, which is the Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, if anyone would like to look it up, just so happens, just a little tidbit, a little factoid, is a renovated tuberculosis hospital.
Oh, so we all know how well tuberculosis hospitals fare. I'm looking at you, Waverly Hills.
Yeah, so there's no red flags there. So it's definitely like a little like a campus. It's a very small school, and up until just a few years ago, it was a private college. It was family owned. It is no longer. It is actually owned by Full Sail anybody who has anything to do with art knows about Full Sail University, but Full Sail owns it now. But it was a family-owned, private, small art school that was put in an old tuberculosis hospital. And it's got like this very interesting campus layout where you've got like this big building kind of at the end of the roadway. And then going down, you've got like smaller buildings. So you've got like this one pathway, big building, and then smaller buildings. So it's like a campus. And later on, started learning more and more about the school's history and looking at the old photographs. And it's like, oh, there was like these little like cottages, like these little huts or whatever, that there used to be like a field of like hundreds of them. And now when I was going there was only one, and it was like left there as like a piece of history. Like, oh yeah, they used to have those. They'd put the patients in them. There was fields of them.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh. And I was an animation major, so I studied traditional hand-drawn animation and stop motion. The animation department was in the basement of the main building, which we called affectionately the dungeon. But the dungeon in its actual history was the morgue.
Yeah.
So that's actually what it was.
Nice.
So, it's a perfect storm.
It is. It really is.
Nothing wrong with that.
And also, I mean, I didn't know any of this going in. I'm like, I want to draw pictures. But apparently, and I mean, you probably know this, your alley. But apparently, the thinking was that there's no real cure for this tuberculosis thing, so let's just try to get people as much sunshine as they can and get them outside a lot. And being in Denver, the mile high city, you have very clean air. And that there's some truth to that. And so, but you also don't want to like bum people out by showing them other dead people.
So exactly.
They have this entire underground tunnel system that connects all of those buildings I explained.
Yeah, the dust
main
chutes.
building. And I guess this is common, but so my school had it too. It had like the underground tunnel system so they could wheel the bodies out once they passed on. Nothing to be concerned about.
No, nothing
so
at all.
All of that was there, and I never in my time there saw the tunnels because they were not students were not allowed to see the tunnels because supposedly they were not safe. You couldn't see them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that is not real, but they were like, no, they're not safe. I mean, there were maintenance people that worked in the school that said, oh yeah, we've seen it all the time, and we walk around down there, and you don't want to be down there.
Nothing to see here, kids.
Yeah, nothing to see. But there were death tunnels underneath my school.
Yes, that's always
and so, yeah, the animation department was in the morgue. We had like little tiny windows at the top. It had like the bars. It's like, oh, very unsettling. But there was actually a couple different stories, and it did not happen to me. I never had anything happen to me when I was there, but two different very close friends of mine that were students there had two different experiences in that school. And apparently there's a long history of things that have happened in school, but they actually never really went out of their way to talk about it. I kind of feel like that's a missed marketing opportunity for them.
Yeah,
maybe,
exactly. You would think it'd be a cool little weekend, make a few bucks for the school.
Right. I mean, that's what I would think. But so one of my friends in his senior year, so as an animation major, your kind of your grand finale is you need to make a film. That's it. Show us. You've had 4 years to learn animation. Make a movie. And so he was working on his. And as we usually do, we go way, ambitious with our ideas. And he had to put in a lot of extra hours. And he was basically living at the school for the hours it was open. And he got up to like deadline time, and he's like, I need more time, and the school's not going to let me stay later. He's like, so I've hatched a scheme. I'm like, oh, this sounds horrible. So he goes, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay in the school overnight so that I can keep using the lab and all the software and the programming. Because he was at the point where he's just editing sound effects, music, and all that. Like this is it. It's the end. It's like, but I'm gonna need to stay overnight. There was a guard. The school had one guard that would like do the rounds at night or whatever. And so my friend in the morgue of the tuberculosis center was like, I'm going to stay overnight and work on my film. And so he did. He did this. And I was like, at this point, this is our senior year. Like, we already know what's going on now. I'm like, so you're going to die overnight. I mean, we never had anything happen, but I was like, I mean, you're like chance and fate, man.
Yeah, right.
And he's like,
everyone's seen that. Everyone's seen those movies where, it's like, we're going to, break the rules. So, nothing bad can happen to me.
We'll be fine. So he did. He loaded up his backpack with like, is that a cat?
That's a cat. Yes. Look at you've got the cat factor. You had the dog factor earlier. Can we move the cat?
No, cat.
Okay.
Right.
We're batting 1,000. We're batting 1,000. We're doing
that is awesome. That the cat was like, there was no fucks given by the cat right now.
Walk right in front of the camera. That's great.
Right. So we're cat wrangling right now.
For a second, I thought that was like a child's head because it was the whole screen. I was like, what? Is that the back of someone's head? What is that?
But yep, that is Ghost freaking talking for you guys.
I love it. So yeah, my friend stocked up with a bunch of food and snacks and bottled water, pretty much everything he would need. He went to school that day. He was working on his project all the way up until they closed it. And I think they closed it down like at maybe 9 or 10 at night. They're like, everyone's got to leave. You got to go. And so the one of the tech people came in, and he also happened to be one of our friends. And so he when you get to like your senior year, a lot of the students start like also working at the school, sometimes like in different part-time capacities. So this other friend, which I'll have his story in a second, he was part of like the tech support IT. And so one of his responsibilities was to make the round and kick all the kids out of the labs before they shut it down. So of course he walked in, my two friends looking at each other, and he's like, okay, goodbye. And he had to close the door and he had to lock it. That's what he had
literally
to do.
Goodbye.
But you could unlock it from the inside.
Yeah.
But so he locked the door, turned off the lights, and told the security that lab is now empty. There's nobody in there. So there was like the lab was this is an old hospital, right? Mm-hmm. So they converted it into a school. So it was like this really, really wide open space. And they had like one of those almost like Chinese folding walls. It's really thin. It's not real. And it's got wheels. And they had that in the middle of the room so that you could split it into 2 classrooms. So it's like one room, but it's 2 classrooms. And that there was plenty of space on the top and plenty of space on the bottom. You just had the wheels. And so he was in one side of this. My friend was in total darkness. He had like headphones on. The volume, he said it had almost to the point where he couldn't even hear it himself because he didn't want anyone hearing him.
Yeah.
So he was trying to finish his film. He was at the school way past the time he should be there. Room is locked. Everyone's gone. There's one security guard roaming the whole campus. And he turned the light down on the computer monitor. He did everything he needed to do so he would not be detected. So he's working. And of course, I mean, all of this is the day after. I'm like, so you're alive, so tell me what happened. And so he's like, dude, all kinds of things happened last night. You don't even know. And he said that like multiple times he wanted to scream and run out, but he was so like, I have to finish this so I can graduate. I must do this. And so one of the things he said that kept happening was he had his headphones on and he kept hearing screaming. And he like, are my audio files weird? Like I don't have a scream in my animation. And so he would keep like taking his headphones like one off of his ear and be like no. And then there'd be screams again. It's like, there's no screaming. And then all of a sudden there would be nothing. And he couldn't explain it. And it wasn't always there. Like he'd play it and then all of a sudden there's no screamings. But it was random and odd and he couldn't explain it.
Do you hear them, Clarice? Do you hear the lambs screaming?
The other thing is he said he kept hearing scratching on the fake wall that was splitting the 2 areas of the room.
I'm like, I'm out.
Fuck it. I'm out, dude.
Peace.
Like, I mean, him telling me this, I'm like, can I keep going to that school? So he said that like he was hearing like just kind of gentle scratching on that fake kind of weird petition wall.
Yeah.
And he was I remember when he was telling me the story, he was like, so I'm just leaning on the computer and I got my headphones and I'm hearing the scratching. And I like turn around and I'm like, oh, keep working, keep working. And he's like holding his head, like holding the headphones, keep working. So that was really weird. He also said that there were a couple times that the guard walked by and he could tell because he would look the crack under the door. He could see like a light, and the guard's got a flashlight, and so he would like when that would happen, he would just stop everything and not move, not breathe. Like maybe even turn the monitor off, and would just like let him pass, and then he'd walk away. At one point, he had to go to the bathroom.
Uh-oh.
So he's like, "Oh no." So he unlocked the door, put something in, propped something in just in case, and went to the bathroom. He said that was absolutely terrifying, going to the bathroom and coming back. And he said there was one or two other times where there was footsteps in that hallway. There was no light. And so he's like, the guard is not walking in pitch black darkness, because it was pitch black in there if there was no lights on. He's like, how is somebody walking out there and there's no lights?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make any sense. So I asked him, I was like, would you do that again? He's like, I would never in my life do that again. But he did it, and he worked the whole night there. And then of course, when it came to the morning, he like hid in like one of the corners and like waited for them to like come in and turn everything on, and then just acted like he showed up right when they opened for the day.
Yeah.
But he did it. He did. I'm like, whatever, man. You're okay.
Big
So that happened. And then the other story was my friend that I mentioned that was on the IT team, like with the tech. As I mentioned, one of his responsibilities was every night he had to go and kick out all the students who were still there working when it was time to shut it all down. And so he told me one time he walked into one of those computer labs in the dungeon, aka the morgue, and he opened the door and he just there was nobody in there. There was no computer monitors even on, because it goes to sleep. So they're all black. It was almost dark in the whole room. And he opens the door and just kind of very nonchalantly, he's like, is there anybody in here? We have to close. He wasn't expecting an answer. He was just, doing his rounds. And he said a rock, not a big rock, like a small pebble, like rock, came out of the darkness.
Really?
And hit him in the chest.
Door slam.
You're in for the night. Whoever the fuck you are.
It doesn't matter. You're good.
He's standing there, holding the door of this computer lab, asking, is anybody here? I need to close it. Tiny little pebble comes out of the darkness, hits him just hits him against the chest, and it falls on the ground. And he's like, nope. And then he closes the door and locks it. And he said he did not even he was done. He just he sprinted to the rest of the rooms. He's like, anyone in here? Nope. All right, lock. All right, lock. All right.
Wow.
It's just like, dude, maybe there was someone in there. Maybe there was a student that threw a rock at you. And he's like,
yeah, right?
Maybe there was, and they got to stay there all night.
yeah, right. They're there all night.
he was like, that particular friend was all into scary stuff and supernatural stuff. He like it, like you guys, he enjoys the macabre and all that kind of stuff. So he was like, no, I was very unsettled, Kevin.
Yeah, right. That was not a good experience, Kevin.
and I for the rest of our time at that school, which at this point, this is junior, senior year, there wasn't a lot of time left, but for the rest of our time, we would constantly talk about those two stories all the time. We're
remember that one time I got, and the rock got bigger each time, right?
Right.
It was like, oh man, it was a boulder. This huge boulder got dropped on me.
This whole wall.
Fly style.
He walked into this room and he got decapitated by a giant boulder. But yeah, I mean, we'd also joke about it too. Somebody be like, oh, I'm so behind. Well, you could always stay after and have the ghost help you finish. It's like, no.
Yeah, that's creepy. That's just damn creepy, man.
It's weird stuff. And I mean, college kids, right? Hey, maybe. I believe my friends. They have no reasons to lie to me. And both of them were. I mean, we still laughed all about it, but they were like, yeah, no, that's something that happened. I'm like, okay. But I also had another friend who ended up taking on a job in the cafe it's not like a cafeteria. It's like a very small, like barista, Starbucks-ish cafe, which was also in the morgue.
Oh,
because I mean, this was like the biggest building was where that was. So like the basement was massive, and they had a cafe there. And he never mentioned ever like anything happening to him. But he worked there for years, and so he was there like really early in the morning and really late at night because he'd be making food and stuff in the cafe. Never any story, but he also remembered the stories, and so I don't know.
Wow,
who knows, right?
Yeah, it just takes to someone that is more open to the ideas of that kind of stuff happening.
Yeah.
You know, because you open yourself up more to it than maybe like a non-believer. We have one on our panel that has still poo-poos on most stuff a little bit, but she's got more of the scientific mind.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be helpful, have all the perspectives.
Yeah.
I mean, how else are you going to know if it's actually like somebody dragging somebody through a hallway or it's rustling leaves?
Rustling leaves.
We're bringing back leaves. We're bringing back leaves. This is an old joke that I don't hear anymore.
This is the circle.
Yeah, he threw it back all the way to the very second episode, first episode,
first or second episode.
Yeah, so
it's so good. It's so funny.
We want to thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you
for coming on tonight and kicking off our 31 days of Halloween. If you guys don't know what 31 days of Halloween, we are going to be dropping a podcast for all 31 days in October. They might be shorter episodes, longer episodes. You never know what you're going to get. But what we're going to do is we're going to, kind of like on Supernatural, they got the monster of the week. We're going to do like the monster of the day, different weird things to talk about. Like I said, could be like a half hour, could be an hour.
Yeah.
And didn't last year you had a couple things that happened, I thought, during the didn't you do one of those things with like bathroom mirror or whatever, and then
we were filming a Bloody Mary. We were just doing a dumb Bloody Mary skit to where I'd be like doing the whole Bloody Mary thing, and then I have a Bloody Mary in my hand.
Yeah.
But stuff started happening. The candle blew out by itself twice, right?
About twice.
Yeah, and then the camera shifted on its own. Like we left the bathroom because we heard something happening out here.
I don't.
And then all of a sudden the camera like turned.
Yeah.
On the tripod. It was pretty impressive. So
there were some highlights. This is it. This is like the main event for you guys for the year. This is it.
Yeah. October is our month for sure. So go out and check out Mr. Hinkle on all the socials. Go out and check him out there. Follow, subscribe, tweet, whatever you want to do to him. Get out there.
Whatever you want to do to him.
Do what you want to do to him. But go out to his Etsy page. Is it a page? Is it a website?
It's a store. It's an
Etsy store. Okay. So we'll call it the Etsy store. Go and check out his Etsy store. It is etsy.com shop MrHinkleDraws.
Yeah.
Like I said, we will also post that on our Facebook page, and it will be tagged to the top of our Facebook page if you guys want to go out and hit that link and buy your awesome stickers.
Because these stickers are pretty sick.
They're pretty awesome.
I appreciate it.
And we need him to sell out the entire stock so we get a 2021 version.
That's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it works.
But I don't see how these don't fly off the shelf, dude. I'm telling you, because these are pretty awesome. And it's not like you are going out and clip art and stuff. This is, every single thing on these stickers is done by you.
Yep, I've drawn all of them. These are all illustrated by me.
Very cool.
And like I said, a lot of these things, I use a lot of different reference to, because sometimes those characters, you're not going to ever find them in that kind of profile or whatever. But it's like, doing what I can. It is very different for me, but that's okay. I think that's
stepping
good
out of
as
your
an
comfort
artist
zone
to be doing different stuff. And, I definitely appreciate your help in spreading the word and helping cross-pollinate and promote it. Nick is always my go-to life support. Anytime I get a commission that is like, can you do this? I'm like, what? Who's the scary guy in this film? Like, I don't do that. I don't watch scary movies.
Yeah, I like those texts. you're like, okay, which is the best Jason Voorhees, costume that he goes with the most, or Chucky. Let's check out Chucky.
Yeah, because it happens. People hire me to do all kinds of stuff, but it doesn't mean I know anything about what they want me to do.
Exactly.
Right. And the last thing I want to do is be like, "Why did you draw him in that outfit?" It's like, "Oh no, no, I got the wrong Google reference image."
You got the one outfit from the third movie, which was the worst one of the series, and I get that.
So this is. I feel good. I feel good about it. This is definitely out of my normal realm, but it also, I feel like, gives a little bit back to my spooky consultant who's always interested in this kind of stuff. And I know I have other people that are other fans of my work that like this kind of stuff. So
cool.
hopefully this is well received, and we do have a annual return to a new wave of spooky stickers.
Well, very cool. Thanks for taking the time out tonight to talk to us, Kevin.
Absolutely.
And good luck on your sales and your Hinktober. I'll be looking forward to seeing what you're drawing up with that. All right, guys.
I am honored. I have been honored to be on the show.
Awesome.
I am now part of the Ghost Freaking Talking lore.
Yes, exactly, right?
Lore.
The lure. All right, guys. So thanks for listening. If you're listening via podcast, make sure to subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. We just got picked up on a couple new podcasts this week. So we've seen our numbers jump a little bit from that.
Ooh,
so
nice.
Thank you to iHeartRadio for picking us up this week.
Dang, that's major leagues, man. I know that one.
Yeah. So thanks for picking us up there. All right. So I'm your host. My name is Nick.
I'm Trenton.
If you have your own scary stories like Mr. Hinkle shared with us, where can they send their stories?
GhostFT@yahoo.com.
Where was that?
GhostFT@yahoo.com.
That's right, GhostFT@yahoo.com. That is where you'll send your spooky stories, and we'll read them right here on the show, and we may or may not make fun of you.
That comes with the
That's a disclaimer.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So also make sure to subscribe here on YouTube and hit that notification bell
so you get notified when we push out a new video.
Very cool. So hang in, guys. It's gonna be 31 days of Halloween, and day 1 is in the books. All right, guys. As always,
everyone has a story to tell.
Everyone does have a story to tell, and stay spooky. See you guys.
The spookiest.